Hi, I'm Doc AJ Chua and welcome to another episode of Adjusting Your Heart. This pandemic revealed to us how unpredictable life may be. It also showed us what are trivial and what are important. And suddenly many of us realized that how important our family is. So today, I'll be talking about how to take care of our aging parents, and next week I'll be talking about how to understand the younger generations, particularly the Gen Zs and the Millennials. And I hope that these two topics will improve our relationships at home. Filial piety is a virtue ingrained in Chinese Filipinos like me. It's also taught in the Bible. It's so important that it's a fourth commandment of the 10 commandments. And it's again reiterated in Ephesians 6, verse 1 to 3, saying that we need to honor our parents. And it is the only commandment that comes with a promise that all will go well with you and you may live a long life. So for tonight, I'm going to talk about how to take care of our parents, especially in their old age or when they're sick. Let's all remember that they took care of us when we were young. And I hope it's more than a sense of duty, it's more than a sense of utang na loob, but love should be our motivating factors. There's no perfect parent, but just remember that they did the best that they can. So my first tip is make them happy. I don't know how old or healthy your parents are. In my case, I'm blessed that my parents are still alive and they're both 77 years old. Check out this pic. Mom nearly died when she had an aneurysm at the age of 45, and I was only 16 at that time. So I learned early on not to take them for granted and to treasure them. And I also want to give them a better life. And I'm thankful that my two younger brothers, Jerry and Jackson, together with my husband Hans and my sister-in-law Ors, also love my parents. Ever since I was a working student in college, I've been helping my parents financially. And together with my brothers, we've been doing that until now. I told Hans about it before marriage because I don't want to secretly give money to my parents. He understood and supported me. And my brother started treating my parents to trips abroad since year 2000. And of course, they treat me too. We came from a middle-class family. And at that time, because my mom got sick, we didn't have any extra funds for trips abroad. So the first time we traveled as a family, wherein we're really complete, it's the 9 of us, it was last 2015 when we went to Japan. Check out this pic. And the second time was when we went to Hong Kong for my parents' 75th birthday. This nice pics with the Lau Ho Tea pillows. And the last one was taken last January when we went to Taiwan. This picture was taken at the Home of Christ, where my brother Jerry and his family goes to church. Other ways to make them happy would be to spend time with them. Like in this picture, once a month, Hans and I would visit my parents in their condo at Tomas Mapua, and my mom would insist that we always take a picture before we leave. Or you can also invite them to Women's Fellowship or Evergreen Fellowship. Like this picture, you can see all the seniors with a very big smile because it would be nice to talk to people of their age. Also, let's not control them too much, especially regarding what they eat. Of course, we have good intentions, but sometimes my mom would tell me that she'd rather eat than die than not eat at all. So sometimes you just give them a little, of the things that they really love. And using humor would also make them happy. It might sound disrespectful to some of you, but this works in my family. Like sometimes when I call up my mom and my mom would say, "Oh, my leg hurts," I would just make her laugh by saying, "What's new?" Or sometimes we would just joke and said, "Cut it off." And then my mom would just keep on laughing. Or when she said, "Oh, I think I'm dying," my mom would say that. And then I would say, "Ang masamang damo," and she would finish the sentence, "Hindi madaling mamatay." So my friends, whenever your parents would say that they want to die, motivate them. For my mom, trips would motivate her. I would say, "Oh, we still plan to go to, let's say, Japan next year." So that would perk her up. Or sometimes, maybe for your parents is to see another child or a grandchild graduate or get married. So motivate them by such things. My second point is make it a team effort. Whether it's with siblings or your in-laws or maybe with other relatives or even the caregivers or the yayas. Dad and I took care of Mom physically while Jerry and Jackson worked abroad so that they would help more financially. So we had a teamwork. And I thank God that my parents are low maintenance. My brothers only need to call them up during special occasions. But during this time of pandemic, I requested my brothers to call at least once a week. That way, my parents would receive 3 calls from the 3 of us. It would be very taxing if I called them every day. And let's say you could also take turns accompanying your parents to the doctor, or when they're hospitalized, take turns in taking care of them. And now I'd like to do a shout out to my cousin, Dr. Joanne Cao. Thank you for being part of our team. She has always been there when one of my parents would get sick. And part of the team effort are our parents themselves. Let them do things that they can still do on their own. That would help improve their self-esteem. For instance, my mom can bathe herself. My dad installed steel bars inside the CRs, and there will be anti-slip mats, and the shower's already adjusted to the temperature she wanted, and there's already a chair. So it's very easy for her, and she can take a bath on her own. And my mom can also heat up her food using the rice cooker or the steamer or the microwave. So we can make our parents feel useful by giving them simple tasks. Like my tuako would help at her son's office. Or some people would oversee their grandchildren with the yaya's help. And some would even tutor their grandkids. And make decisions as a family so you won't blame yourself or others when things turn out negatively. Remember that you guys made the best decision based on what you guys know at the time. And please don't condemn relatives who live abroad who place their parents in homes. Because unlike the Philippines, we don't have very nice home for the aged, but in the other countries, they really have nice places and they are really well cared for because sometimes they need 24-hour care. And the relatives also visit them frequently. Third, make plans for the future. Know and help your parents fulfill their bucket list. Like, it's my mom's desire to have a family pic during our Taiwan trip. So if you look at this picture, we went to a studio, and this is the 3rd time that we had a complete family picture. The first time was during Jerry's post-wedding reception in Taiwan. You can check this out. And the second time was during my parents' 70th birthday. I told my parents that I would have to move them to Makati once my dad resigned as an employee at the PUA Association. He enjoys it very much, so we don't want to stop him. But if there comes a time that let's say he gets very tired already, then he can retire and we'll move him to Makati. That way, it's easier for me and Hans to take care of them. And we can also request them to bring an ID wherein their names will be there, their contact number, emergency details, and their blood type. And of course, getting health and life insurances would be wise. I thank God that my dad got his Caritas and he was able to use it during his hernia operation. My dad, all in all, had 3 operations and my mom had 8 operations. The sad thing is, my mom never had a health insurance. Most people don't like to talk about death, much less prepare for it. So, in case you really need to bring this up with our parents, we have to be tactful. Like when I talked to my parents, I told them that it's not that, of course I want them to live long, and yet we need to make preparations. Like we have to, let's say for our bank accounts, my dad's bank account ever since has already been in or either with me or with my brother, and we have to know where the important documents are placed. And becoming Christians helped my parents not to fear death anymore. My parents brought their own funeral plans. They already instructed me they don't want to be cremated, and my mom already let me see which dress she wants to wear during her funeral, and even the picture. She chose one wherein she's still very young and beautiful. And she already instructed me that I have to sign the DNR, do not resuscitate form. That means when her heart stops beating, or her she stops breathing, then the doctors or the nurses don't need to do a CPR on her or do anything to revive her, because she said she doesn't want to live life as a coma patient. And remember, if your parents are traditional Chinese like mine, take it in stride when they won't or they might not appreciate us in public. For instance, when someone would tell my mom that, oh, you're so blessed, your children, or let's say especially Jeanette, because they often see me. She's very filial. Oh, my mom said, no, she's always out, or she's not there when I fail. Just do what is right and don't expect them to thank you, because our parents really deserve our love and our care. So, the 3 tips would be on how to take care of our aging parents would be: make them happy, make it a team effort, and make plans for the future. And please leave a comment below. How do you take care of your aging parents? And what challenges did you encounter? And how did you overcome them? Let me know, okay? And don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'd like to thank these people for supporting us: Ana Ong, Ana Munoz, Ana Christine Chua, Bliss Rizal, Carol Bainosa, Josephine Tew, Maria Cristina Lim, Mary Chua, Mary Catherine Lu Juan, Mary Ruth Mi, Mel Orlino, Mia Ong Feliciano, Miguel Tan, Susan Nangti, Terry Chua, and Wong B. Muy. See you next Friday when I talk about how to understand the Gen Z and the millennials. Stay safe, everyone!